Welcome to the Outsider Media Group, where we talk battle rap from top tier, medium tier, to low tier. There's no biasness here. And tonight, me and Caleb is chopping it up with Madflex. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Happy to be on. Thanks for having me.
That's a fact, man. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna get it popping. You feel me? First off, let me go ahead and say, like Dre said, man, we definitely appreciate you coming, showing love to the platform. I've been, I've been rocking with you heavy for a while. You feel me?
Yeah,
Um,
since been doing, a long time.
but yeah, so let's get right into it, man. So you recently had a couple of battles drop, man. Let's talk about you versus Rahney first, man. That was a circus before, during, and after the battle, man. Talk to us about you, because I know that went beyond battle rap. Tell us the story, man.
You know, it it did and it didn't, like in a lot of ways. Like when it all started, it was one of those things that it all kind of came to a head when Ronnie jumped into talkback and told people that had this big fat comment that just said Mad Flex is racist. And like that was all, and when you think about on one hand, I'm like half of me is like, okay, I get it. I know what he's doing. And on the other hand, like, you know, I I take it really seriously to create dialogue between people because there's a lot of division between people lately. And like for me, you know, I'm not really locked into one type of style or anything. Like I really mess with all sorts of styles of battle rap. I like the kind where it's like really wordsmithy shit and it's really like, just the more gutter, just talk that shit. Appreciate both. And so I try to create, bridges between, a lot of people that kind of, especially when it comes to racial kind of things, when people that gets in the way of people. And so when he just popped out and did that, it was one of those things that like, yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where I was kind of like disappointed that I'm like, fuck, he was my man. And so, I got that it was a joke, but I was like, man, you just told 33,000 people that I'm fucking racist. So,
Yeah,
you know, because of that, I was like, that's a little far from me. I wasn't throwing a fit about it. I was like, okay, let's just say that that's what that is, and then let's get to this battle and let's figure it out. And then I think from there, it just kind of, it took on its own, kind of energy. Whereas like, all right, I knew what I was dealing with, and so I was like, I decided to kind of dive in head first and fuck with it because I'm like, all right, let's go back and forth. And if we're gonna be talking this shit, then let's talk that shit. So I tried to troll the troll and basically, all in the while never really like saying that I was cool with the shit because I'm still not totally cool with this shit. It didn't like make me so mad that I was fuming, but I was just disappointed because I was like, I do take this shit seriously and there's a lot of people that write on gossip. And so there's probably a lot of people that just, saw and caught wind of that because that the post caught fire, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
like it just became real common. It's like, oh, Flex is racist. And I have his friends hitting me up about it. And I got my friends hitting me up about it. Big friend me and just like, okay, well, that's a fucking mess. So, I mean, it, yeah, that's where it all started. And then I think it got to a place that was a little bit more, normal. Like, all right, let's promote this battle shit. And, but it started nasty for me. That's sure.
yeah. And I mean, if you like, a lot of people may not know it, but like, I've had Flex added as a friend on Facebook for a while. You feel me? I'll follow him on Twitter. If you ever like just go look at Madflex posts, that is actually probably one of the most genuinely like the least racist people that I've ever seen. Like the man can like constantly is attempting to establish a dialogue between people of all races. He's consistently playing the devil's advocate on these types of deals, like just showing people the perspective that they might not have. So I mean, I can understand like that actually is damaging whenever you're like, okay, I'm out here trying to go the opposite direction and you out here trying to pull me this way. You feel me?
Right, right. And I think, and even if it's like, whether it's, even though it's not true, it's one of those like, for me, it's kind of off limits, but I understand that it might not be off limits for everybody, especially someone I'm going to battle. They're going to take it wherever they're going to take it. So at first, it kind of caught me. I was like, "Ooh, I don't really want him doing this right now," and so it kind of frustrated me. But like the second the ball got rolling, I was like, "Well, shit, this is where it's going, and I can't do anything about it." And so it was frustrating, but like but you're right. I mean, and you could see just from my posts that I do take it seriously. I like to be, like a person who can bridge the gap between, opinions and things, because like there's a lot of people that don't even want to talk to each other right now. You know what I mean? So, I take it seriously to be kind of like that vessel between people that can actually create the dialogue. And so for me, it took something that was off limits in my mind and it made it like not only, completely fair game, but it made it like the focus, So and I'm still dealing with fucking fools just popping up in my inbox and making jokes about racism. And I don't know, I don't like it. I deal with it because I have to. But it's kind of like, all right, I mean, this should have never became a joke. Like I just didn't feel like it was a good thing to make a joke out of. And in a lot of ways, that's what made me hustle so hard to try to beat him. So it
Yeah,
made for a good
exactly.
battle. But yeah, yeah.
And then let's talk about, man. And then afterwards, there was a bit of a controversy too, man. You care to talk
Right.
about that?
Yeah, I mean, like it all just is what it is at this point. I mean, like the judging was a mess, man. I thought it was going to be judged in the building. I think Rahney did too. Rahney and I have talked since, and we're cool, man. Like, we both get what was going on and shit. And like, I've got a lot of respect for Rahney in spite of the bullshit that kind of. I think his hustle is just different than mine, and I accept that. It was just one of those things that like, I wasn't prepared for. But I think both of us, um, we both kind of knew the drill with the voting and shit. He got the ruin your day vote. And I was happy to be like, yeah, you got that shit. That's fine. And then when it came to the online votes, it just seemed like fools were like just cheating like fuck. And it was on both sides. Like there was
Yeah.
fools cheating for me, and it was just like not a good way to do it. So at that point, I was like, all right, I'm kind of done with this voting shit, man. Like, there's no point because it's just a bunch of people cheating to win this thing. So like, just like let me bow the fuck out. And but then Dan popped in, and I guess it got back to him voting system and moved it over to Facebook where there was like supposed to be less cheating. And God knows if it worked that way or not. I don't know. At the point, like I don't know. I kind of resigned myself to saying what happens happens. Like I honestly don't think whether I won or lost that it had like any implication really of the battle. It was like, all right, well, if I get the win or the loss at this point, it's just a popularity contest. So,
Yeah, and I
but
mean, but to those like who aren't hip, you feel me? Flex did end up winning the popular vote, so now he's he's the number one contender for the BOTZ title. So be on the lookout for that, man. I definitely wish you the best on that.
appreciate it, man. Guys, December, January, like that.
Yeah, that's a fact. All right, so let's talk about the other battles you had dropped recently, man. You versus Excel, y'all set off the Massacre 4 Blackout Edition, man. How was that?
Oh man, that was. I mean, honestly, that shit was probably one of the most fun like nights I've had in battle rap, man. Like the Boston crowd is just like something else, man. It really is. Like and to set the night off too, I think that's really what did it is because there was, like the energy was just so high in the room. I heard the same shit happen at Summer Madness with Geechee and Suge. It's one of those things where like you get the energy in the room for that first battle and just like, not a lot of shit pops off in Boston these days. So like when it was like they were just happy to be there. The energy was super high. And yeah, man, like they were good to go. And I think both of us were just fucking firing on all cylinders, man. Like I'm a big XL fan. Like Excel's my man outside of this shit, bro. Like we actually, get along real well. So, when we originally set the battle up, it was one of those things where like, hey, if we fire off, then we could definitely steal the show. And, I mean, we definitely put ourselves in contention for battle of the night. I mean, um, I thought, outside of some of the more popular guys that have that going for them, that create energy in the room, even without, just by walking in a room, like we were kind of trying to just set the night off with some of the best material. And I thought we did it, man. And yeah, it was a good close match, man. I love those kind. I don't like the blowouts. I really like the close matches, and me and Excel really were firing off, so it was cool.
Yeah, and I mean, you had about to say y'all both definitely had some shit. You feel me? You had the little mid round rebuttal, man. Was that on the spot or about to say how'd you think
Yeah,
about
kind
that?
of. I mean, no. Well, like, the thing is that like I knew what I. It's funny because I was in the middle of a scheme and I was kind of just going through this shit, and I was I noticed his shirt a little early, and I'm like I was gonna say some shit like like I was just how could I say like the life life out his chest, And then I was thinking, okay, life out his chest, like the shirt that he's in. And then, you know, I was kind of like, that's what I was thinking about, saying life out his chest, like the shirt that he's in, some shit. And then I ended up saying shirt on his skin just because that's what popped into my head. And like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm trying to kind of implement more shit, like just kind of like mid-round stuff and kind of like, because I can do that. And I guess in the past I've kind of just been hesitant to do it because I felt like it was risky in the position that I was in. Like I was like, oh fuck it, you know, I'm in a big event like Boston, so you just want to get your material out. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've had a lot of performances at big events and I've done really well in them, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, you know, it was inconsequential that I didn't take any risks. You know, I was like, oh, okay, well, if I'm not taking risks, then nothing comes of it. So it's like, fuck it, let's take some risks, man. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So let's see. So before that, you kind of started the year out with the was it your, other than Canada, was that your first international battle? You and Shocks?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, just besides the Canada battles, yeah, like that was the first time I'd been to
I mean,
London.
first time
Um,
overseas, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, that was the first time that you know, there was you know, when Don't Flop was going, like there was potential to go out there, but like yeah, yeah, I got hit up actually by Shocks. You know, Shocks was running the league. That was before King of the Dot even, you know, was involved. And yeah, they just happened to buy the league the night that I performed. Like it was kind of crazy because we all didn't find out that King of the Dot was buying Chalked out until, you know, like we were the day of the battle. Like me, Chilla, and A Ward, we were all just like, oh, wait a second, this is going on King of the Dot. And Chilla and A Ward were like, oh shit, like we didn't prepare this shit like King of the Dot material, you know? So like, you know, they were like firing off their shit like for the last 2 days, just really locking it in and trying to, you know, get it figured out because none of us knew. Um, but yeah, so like Shocks was actually the one that hit me up about it, and I was glad he did because he's definitely like one of the top guys in the UK that I
That's what
was
I was gonna
interested in
say.
battling, if not the top guy, you know, because I just fuck with his semi, but it's actually real technical too. So yeah, yeah, I was happy to have a slugfest with him, man. Shocks is definitely one of my favorites in England.
That was I think, what was, am I wrong? Was that your return battle? You feel me? Because you had the little bit of the hiatus after
I
the
shit,
Rosenberg
I
battle.
think so. Yeah, I battled. Yeah, I did. I did because um, I ended up taking a break, and I should have taken it earlier because, you know, I mean, I had a couple slips against Chilla and Geechee, and
Yeah.
you know, it was a rough time for me because, you know, I had, you know, family member with cancer, and like pretty much found out about it like 3 days before the Geechee battle, and so it was one of those things that I was disappointed because me and Geechee were firing off the first two, and just like the fact that he had a really strong third, and then I couldn't close it out. I was like, damn it, I felt pissed because I was like, he definitely deserved for me to finish, and obviously he's doing fine now. He don't need shit from me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on his way. But like I just felt I felt bad about it when it happened. And the same thing with Chilla because it's like, you know, I'm trying to cover these tracks, and, you know, I try not to make it look bad when it happened, but like I like to be over prepared, you know. So, you know, and then when Rosenberg got to finish this one up, and then I got to take a break because like I'm not doing my best, you know, I don't have enough to give right now. And so I took a pause, and then, you know, when the Shocks battle became an option, I was like, okay, that really gave me a focus, and so I wrote strong for it. And ever since then, I've just been trying to stay on the ball with this shit, like just have good, like, you know, so far I'm 4 battles into the year, and all of them have been real solid performances. So like, yeah, like it's been a good year, man. That's like it's been fun too because I'm enjoying myself, and I'm loving the travel. You know, like that's becoming one of the biggest parts of this battleship for me, is just to be able to travel.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's like a lot of people like say that, you know what I mean, like being able to like travel on someone else's dime, you feel me, just to rap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be an incredible feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, like just the fact that people put that kind of faith in you. That's why I try to like take my internationals like really seriously. Like anytime I get flown somewhere to do something, like I take that shit serious because I want to do it more, you know? So it's like a lot of people, they just like will waste opportunities and ruin their brand by showing up somewhere like a really big opportunity. and not making use of it. You know, they'll just go out there and act like it's nothing. But man, like if I'm seeing the world, like that's literally like top one thing for me in my life to do right now. I just want to go out and see the world from a different perspective, you know? So, you know, when people don't make use of those, like I'll take them, shit, I'll swoop them up. Like, you know, I just booked up another international that, you know, I can't announce yet, but there'll be another international hopefully before the end of the year. And
Okay.
so, yeah, and it'll be cool because it's someplace I haven't been before. So, yeah, I'm excited, man, just to keep shit moving and just hopefully, you know, just have people confident in my brand that when I come out somewhere like that, I'm gonna show up with my best shit.
Yeah. Well, I wanna ask this, man. I mean, there is like kind of a, I guess you would call it a stigma about yourself. You know what I mean? Where
Mhm.
Madflex is the man with the most breakout performances in his career. You know what I mean? About to say, like
Yeah.
you and Lou Cipher, you and Farrell, like it's just like it's consistently. Oh, this is his breakout performance. How do you feel
Yeah.
about that? You know what I mean?
It's I mean, like, I guess it doesn't really bother me much because I guess there's a lot that I can't control. And what I can control, I've controlled to the best of my abilities. And you know, like I've had 7 battles on the King of the Dot main page, and every single one of them I showed up, and it was a great battle. You know, like I had my first battle was Megadeth, and then I had Lou Cipher, I had Aftershock at World Dom, I had, you know, E. Farrell, Nestle, which was one of the best battles that I've ever been in. You know, like Shocks the Rebel, and now Excel. And so, all of these battles, like the one thing that I'm building for my brand is consistency. Like I've never even really had a slip on the main page. And you know, that my goal was just to kind of continue to build that. But like at the end of the day, like a lot of these guys are grandfathered in, you know, like I can't do much, you know, without the right opportunities. And unfortunately, like a lot of guys that like really have the brand are not willing to take a chance on a guy that's dangerous that doesn't get the views they do. And kind of, I don't know, man, kind of like rightfully so. Like if you built a brand for yourself and you're getting millions of views, you know, for you to like take on a dude building his brand, but still equally as dangerous. I get why it would be like a lot of work to do. And so I don't know. On one hand, I could have as many breakouts as you know, like I've had, but like you know, people are gonna keep thinking they're breakouts as long as I'm not like a staple of like, you know, if I'm not battling the top guys in every league. And you know, I'm battling dudes like Nestle and Excel who are like in the same position as me because they're both guys that like are you know, slept on in a sense of like not really being involved in these huge cards where they belong. Like, I think Excel could fuck with a lot of dudes that are like on Summer. I think Excel could have fucked up a lot of those dudes on Summer Madness, you know, especially with the chokes. Like, you know, so Nestle, I think honestly is one of the best in the world, man. Like, I think a guy like him could like easily stack up against a Lux or a Mook. Like, and people, you know, people give a lot of credit for popularity or for like mystery. Like Mook is mysterious because he only showed years. But like when you literally like break down a guy's pedigree, like Nestle, like undeniably one of the best doing it. And I think it's just about the exposure. So, you know, yeah, I'm gonna keep breaking out as long as, you know, I'm not getting 200,000 views. It's always gonna be the case until I start getting the opportunities to battle these dudes that are really gonna help me get my name bigger with their views.
Yeah. And I mean, I know. Let me ask this, man. Like I know there was the big thing for a while. You feel me? You were chasing the or maybe not chasing is the right word, but there was talks that you and Real Deal battling. Is that still a possibility, or what's that looking?
You know, you know what's funny is it might be a possibility, but like a lot changed damn near immediately with Real Deal because like when I made the call out, it was kind of a playful call out. It wasn't, you know, I didn't hate the guy. In fact, I was a big Real Deal fan. But what happened was Real Deal, like, you know, I got, you know, Avocado called Real Deal and he's like, hey, you want to battle Flex? And so he put his price in a place that just really was tough for the league to handle. And so it was one of those things that like Avocado's like, I can't go that high unless you get a sponsor and all this stuff. So there was all this talk to try to figure it out. But then like at the end of the day, Real Deal is Real Deal, and Real Deal gets a lot of views. When you look at his resume, it's fucking huge, you know, like from the B Magic battle to like everything he did on Grind Time and everything he's done on King of the Dot. he's got a huge resume. So like he brands himself based on what he thinks his worth is. And so I don't fault him for that. I took a jab at him for that because at that point I had nothing to lose. And it did build a narrative that we're still talking about 2 years later, because and then after that, that's exactly why Real Deal even kind of explained in some interviews, that's exactly why he took A-Ward. He took A-Ward at goalie Organic because of the fact that everyone was kind of giving him shit like, why are you ducking Flex? Like, what happened here? And so he started taking on, like more hungry. He knew that, that it was where the good matches were and things like that. So, and then in the fucking meanwhile, me and Real Deal became really good fucking friends. So like that, now it sucks because like, now he's the fucking homie. So I think, I'm sure he's still interested in the battle. I'm still interested in the battle, and I'm sure in the right situation it would work really well. But he's also one of those few dudes that's like really in title contention for King of the Dot. He's like him and Chilla, and there's a few that like the names that are just really thick in the mix. So I feel like as soon as he's done running for that title, then like we can figure some stuff out as long as I keep my momentum going and I can build my brand.
Yeah, I can understand that. So I mean, I guess the next logical question is what's next for Madflex? Like, where are you, like, what do you see yourself doing the rest of this year and next year? Like, what's your goal?
Shit, the main thing is I just want to be clean. I just want to come out and give my best performances. And like the main thing was what's really crazy is I really fucked with this bot shit just because I just want that fucking belt. I didn't care who I had to go through. So the belt, just I don't know, maybe it's just the fucking young kid in me that just wants that WWF style fucking championship
Yeah.
belt, So like, because and now everyone getting their own championship belts, but that BOTZ belt looks sharp, boy. Like that shit's a good looking
Facts.
championship belt. Like, you get a lot of plastic ass belts. That thing looks clean as fuck. So I was like, I want to get that shit. And so, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll battle Rahney to get to Sam Colton and do it. Because at the end of the day, like, I knew that I matched up well against Rahney and Sam Colt, it's a big opportunity for him to battle me. So, and that's not, and I'm not talking about that in terms of skill or talent or who's gonna win, but like it's a big upgrade for him in terms of, the people that he's battling right now. So it kind of works out for everybody. And it's gonna
Yeah.
make me right strong. Like, I mean, I'm gonna go against the guy who's basically up and coming, but I'm gonna give him my best shit because I want that fucking belt. So that's exactly the best kind of situations, when you got a dude who has a little bit, like to gain from the situation, but the dude who has something to lose still has something possibly to gain from it. So it's like, I like those kind of matches. It's like that goalie versus Gannett kind of vibe, and I fuck with that because when both people are really just like interested in winning and they don't want, it's like that's what makes the matches great. And so I think it'll be like that with Sam Colt for sure.
And then after that, man, we'll see Madflex versus O-Red in a belt versus belt match. You feel me?
Yeah. It's
Find out who
it's
the
possible.
champion really is. You feel me?
Man, yeah, no, he had a good year last year, man. He's got to make up for this weekend. No, that was
Yeah, I'm
rough.
about to say, hopefully his voice will have recovered by that time.
Oh man, I'm rooting for him though, man. I fuck with O-Red. O-Red is I really like O-Red's style in general. I like his mixture of like sarcasm and bars, but like, yeah, I think who knows, man. There was something in the air. There was something in the air because everybody was fucking up, and I didn't even get to catch all of them. But what I did catch, it was weird. Like there was some weird fuck ups. Like I don't know,
The
man.
bar of the night.
But
Well, me and Dre like to say that the bar of the night on Summer Madness was Jersey.
oh
You heard
yeah,
fucker
yeah.
like 4
And it
times.
was recycled. It was recycled quite a bit. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
exactly. God bless him, though, man.
yeah, I mean, you can't you like we we've all been there, man. Like that's the thing with battle rap. Like something gets in the way sometimes. It's just a shame it got in the way on these big stages. I really do think though that a lot of these dudes they're just basically like they're overexposing themselves to the point where their brand can't stay clean. It's like if you're battling all the time, then it's going to be really hard to stay focused and to keep your brand sharp, because if you're just kind of except Geechee, who apparently can do this shit every weekend, like fuck man,
Yeah,
like he just keeps firing off shit. Like his consistency is crazy, man. Like so I mean, he's obviously like if he's not champion of the year after a 3-time, man, God knows, like I don't know what they got in plan, but like other than that, though, I do feel like you can't oversaturate your shit, because if you're not showing up with your best shit, then you're gonna hurt your brand, and people are gonna get tired of it. So
I mean, it was a good thing that that we were able to see you and Geechee before like he got up to that level, you know what I mean? Like to where he's like now it probably wouldn't be a feasible match. Like I think it
yeah,
was a dope ass clash.
I'm glad. Well, the thing is, good match. It was honestly, me and Geechee's first 2 rounds is probably better than damn near a lot of his battles. Like, and it was a cool crowd they were fucking with both of us. Like, it was probably more of a home game for him, but like for me to be able to make a match of it against a dude like Geechee, it's good because I like that. I like to challenge myself to go against dudes that like just basically are like a contrast to my style, because that's one thing that's really it is challenging, especially when you go into these leagues where it's like you do it one way. Like with URL, I kind of do feel like, they have a way that works and they stick to it, and it really works for them and they get excited about it. And like with me, I'm kind of outside of that box because I tend to be all over the place with like some technical shit. And some of it really goes well with those type of crowds, and other shit just like they don't want to fuck with it. So I get it. It's just like, but then when me and Geechee matched up, it doesn't look awkward. It looks good. It looks like a good match. So, I'm definitely fucking down for those types of matches where it's like the style clash, but it's not super awkward, because we're both just going in, trying to get the job done. Like, I don't know. I don't prefer the matches that are like just such a wild style clash that they don't make any sense. But like if you're both in there trying to take each other's head off, then it's fucking great, And I think me and Geechee did for a few rounds. I really wish I could get that third round back, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm super happy for the guy because, like, honestly, he's one of the best dudes I've met in this shit, man. He's just a humble ass dude trying to get the job done. So, I'm happy to see him succeed.
Yeah, that's a fact. So, like, let me ask this, man. Like, who is your dream match? Like, who's got to see Madflex before he hangs it up? You feel me?
I think there's only a couple, man. There's only really one at this point. I feel like I need to get a match with Pass. I need to get a match with Pass. Like,
Because of the
and
style
fucking
thing.
well, yeah, kind of. It's just like, we're both from the same area. I get a lot of comparisons with Pass and things like that just because when, we both have beards and shit and we both, rap. But like, that's the thing. I do think there's a certain level of like, there's a dying breed in battle rap of people that actually rap. And it's limited to people like the Passes and the Ilmax and the Nestle's. And, there's even the Peanuts and the Fredos, and the Reverse Lives, people, in within that realm of people that aren't just kind of like sing-songing their way through battle rap. Effective way to connect with a crowd. But for me, like, I really take a lot of pride in fucking rapping, So a dude like Pass, I feel like, is a really good match in the sense that like it would just make sense in the same way that Nestle and Pass made sense. And sure enough, that shit was the battle of the year at King of the Dot. Just two rappers just like going at it. There's not a lot of extra shit. It's just they're rapping their ass off. So I'd like that match. In the past, he was like, not as interested. He's like, yeah, I don't know, man. These fools are trying to get my head taken off. And, he was fucking around with it. Like, yeah, I know he doesn't think that he could, that I could whoop him, but it was one of those things where, I'm sure he had other moves in mind. So, but I'd love a Pass match. Shit, that's just anybody on that level. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to take out whoever's in front of me. Like, I don't look at these guys with like a lot of reverence. I'm just kind of like, these just are dudes that I'm gonna rap against. Like, I don't have a lot of like history in the sense where I've seen these guys from the past, but like I don't look at them like they're above me. Like, I mean, I don't think you know. I know how to separate the brand from the talent. There's a lot of dudes, and there might even be dudes in GZ that could fuck with me. It's like, okay, but at the end of the day, it's like the talent is pretty level across the board, but the brand is different. I think that's how it is with Pass. So it's going to be tough to get a match with him. Um, and that's why it didn't work out with Pat Stay, even though there was a lot of demand for it. So, it's just the branding, and there's very little you can do about that shit. It's just you got to kind of eat it and move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I guess the also another logical question is like you have had about 7 battles on the King of the Dot platform. You feel me? Would you ever want to step foot on the URL platform? Like, is that something that would be possible one day, or what?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I've been reached out to by the West, like by URL West and stuff like that. There was some options on the table, but like it just overlapped with some of my other plans and stuff. So it was like, no, I mean, I'm a big fan of URL. Like I fuck with URL heavy, and I actually really appreciate, you know, there's such a different element of performance over there that just kind of is the top of the food chain, and so yeah, I definitely fuck with URL. There's a lot of dudes over there that I definitely keep my eye on, and they're some of my favorites. So I wouldn't doubt that I would be over there. I definitely would have to kind of shift some things up in my style to get over well over there because I'm not an idiot. It's like my style tends to be too technical, even for some king of the dot crowds. You know what I mean? And so for a crowd like the URL crowds that don't really have as much of appreciation for it, it's like I'd really have to just fucking punch my ass off. So, and I like that challenge because it's different. It's like I don't think one way is right or wrong, so it's different, and I fuck with that. And I feel like it would be a good challenge to just, and plus, it's like I don't know, man. I like to feel like I'm in the lion's den. I like to feel like I'm actually like I don't like these friendlies that I've been in, like where you're just like, yeah, we're cool. Let's fucking like have a friendly spar. It's like, no, like I like to be like in a war where somebody's trying to take my head off. So yeah, I would like to get over to the URL stage eventually and just kind of, put that on the resume because it's definitely like a challenge and there's a lot of talent over there that I think I match up well against.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a fact. I've been like calling for that for a while, you know what I mean? Saying that I think you would kill like a lot, especially this newer class of guys. There's not a lot that I'm impressed by. So I'm like, okay, we gotta get some new blood in here, you feel me?
Yeah. It's like there's not as much originality. That's the thing. Like there's very few. I mean, even some of the old dudes are starting to sound like some of the new dudes. Like there's just like these trends pick up, and all of a sudden you start seeing like people sounding like dudes that are the trend. Like I don't know, like people are starting to sound like New Jersey Twerk a lot, and it's there's just like this kind of way that people start to rap, and they're just like inheriting each other's styles to survive, and like and I don't know. I mean, like for me, like I have to be my own style at the end of the day. I'm not gonna go out and just inherit somebody's style. So I'm gonna focus my own style to be, like on a stage like that instead of just being a cookie cutter of somebody else's style. So yeah, I mean, because when something stands out, it's like it's unique. That's why Twerk was able to stand out because he was doing something unique. And even the other dudes that have made a name for themselves, like Geechee's doing some cool shit that's unique. And when you think about guys like even Mook and Verb and like all these people who are in these positions, they're all like they don't really sound like other people. Like they have something authentic about like their original. And I mean some styles originality is like the minimum, you know what I mean? Like you got to go out there and like be yourself and not just like go take on a template. And I fucking hate that shit. I hate it when people just like will grab up a template and they'll try to create their own persona from somebody else's template. So, I mean, originality for me goes a long way. There's a lot of original dudes in URL, but like, yeah, a lot of the new guys, they sound a lot alike, man. And so, yeah, like it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to try to set something up.
Yeah, that would be dope, man. So like we'll be on the lookout for that in the future. Let me ask this, man. Like a lot of like everyone we get on here, we ask them, man. Like I want to give you this opportunity to plug. Like, do you do music? Do you have merch? Like, what do you do outside of battle rap? Do you have anything you like
Yeah,
want to
well, I
shout out?
mean, I haven't as much lately. I used to, I would make music back in the day, just like leisurely, but like, I'm gonna be getting some merch going for stuff. I got some, like just random things that I'm working out that I want to make sure look good before. But like, I'm also into like, I don't know, I'm doing a lot of other shit too. Like, I just finished up a half Ironman, so like, I'm gonna be doing a full Ironman in May, which is like, swim, bike, run, where I'm just like working out every fucking day. So
Jesus
probably over my
Christ.
next, yeah, my next few battles, I'm probably gonna get pretty trim just because like all I do is just work out like in just these long ass endurance races. Like so, that takes up a lot of my focus right now. And just trying to kind of just get stuff done. Like I just always was like, I got to go be an Ironman. And so like I'm halfway there at this point, and then I got a few more months to get all the way there. And then, so yeah, it's like, unfortunately right now, like some of the music is taking a back seat, but you know, the traveling stuff is what I'm mainly doing with the battle raps, you know, like trips and the, you know, traveling. But yeah, so right now that's pretty much what I'm up to is just the battles and just training my ass off. But yeah, I mean, other than that, just my social media stuff. You never know what's gonna pop up. I definitely have some ideas for an EP because I would like to get on a track just to kind of like have that out there because you know not a lot of people know that I rap. You know they don't know that because they don't have anything online that you know shows them. So I do need to get some you know some fucking proof out there that I'm doing shit on tracks too. So like I'm excited to do that. I told people I'll drop a single and that's kind of in the works. So I just really need to lock in some of my equipment and make sure it's top notch and I'm not getting pops.
Okay. Well, that'll be dope. I mean, whenever that shit drops, you feel me? Like Dre
Yeah,
always says, you a friend of the show. So now, whenever that drops, you gotta let us know, and we'll promote that shit. You feel me?
I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
But all right. So Dre, you got anything else, man? I mean, I think I'm good as far as everything goes, man. Flex, we definitely appreciate having you on here. You feel me? We hope you win that belt whenever time comes for that.
Yeah, we'll see, man. It'll be good. Thanks for having me on. Fucking yeah, yeah, we're gonna keep it
Yeah.
pushing and just like, you know, hopefully we'll see you on some big stages in the future.
That's a fact. Hey, yo, before you get out of here, Flex, man, could I get you to give a shout out to the whole Outsider Media Group, man?
Yeah, yeah. Like as far as just individually thing.
I don't care, man. It's dealer's choice. You got the floor, Chief.
Just we'll plug. I said yeah, it's Madflex. Shouts to Outsider Media Group, to my man Dre, to my man Caleb, everybody doing work over at the squad. And yeah, stay tuned for more in the future.
Hey, yo, that's a dope ass soundbite, man.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Hey, look, hey, we will talk after this though. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's good. But all right. So about to say much love to Madflex, man. Y'all go check him out if you haven't already. He's definitely dope. About to say this Outsider Media Group, Madflex, Caleb, and Dre signing out. Salute.
Salute.
Peace, peace.